Good evening, my friends. This is Santa Claus coming to you on this Halloween evening, October 31st, 2025, with today's news from around our beautiful world. It's a day when children dress up and seek treats, but as we gather by our fireside tonight, let's warm our hearts with understanding of the events shaping our global neighborhood. In the Asia-Pacific region, a summit of leaders has gathered with Chinese President Xi Jinping taking a prominent role. Speaking of working together in turbulent times, it reminds me of how even the smallest reindeer contributes to our Christmas Eve journey. President Xi has promised to defend global free trade, while sadly, the American president departed early after reaching some agreements to ease trade tensions. How wonderful when nations find ways to cooperate rather than compete. Speaking of cooperation, the European Union is considering new trade measures in response to Chinese export controls on critical materials. They're contemplating what they call an in-kind tariff, requiring Chinese exporters to supply critical raw materials when shipping goods to Europe. Meanwhile, Germany is thinking about using public funds to replace telecommunications equipment from the Chinese company Huawei due to security concerns. These complex matters remind us that in our global workshop, we all rely on sharing our toys and tools with one another. Turning our gaze to the Netherlands, a close election has concluded with centrist Rob Jetten's party narrowly defeating anti-Islam populist Geert Wilders. Young Mr. Jetten, just 38 years old, now faces the responsibility of forming a stable government. May he be guided by wisdom and compassion as he serves the Dutch people. Meanwhile, across the seas in Tanzania, my heart is heavy with reports of unrest following their elections. The opposition claims hundreds have been killed in protests, while the United Nations has reported at least 10 deaths in 3 cities. Let us pray for peace in Tanzania and for healing of divisions that lead to such suffering. Every child of God is precious, and these losses bring tears to my old eyes. In the Middle East, concerning news emerges that Lebanese militant group Hezbollah is reportedly rebuilding its weapons, potentially endangering the ceasefire agreement with Israel. This situation reminds us how fragile peace can be and how we must constantly nurture it with love and good faith. May cooler heads prevail, and may the people of Lebanon and Israel find a path to lasting harmony. On a worrying note from Ukraine, Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha has confirmed Russia has been using a particular cruise missile that previously led to the abandonment of a nuclear arms control pact. Meanwhile, plans for a peace summit in Budapest have apparently been cancelled after tense communications between Russian and American officials. How I wish these nations could sit together at the table of brotherhood rather than the battlefield of hostility. Peace on earth remains my fervent prayer for Ukraine and Russia. In South America, Chevron finds itself caught between American and Venezuelan tensions, with a major military buildup in the Caribbean as the company tries to continue its oil operations. May the safety of all workers be protected amid these complex international dynamics. Across the ocean in Africa, Guinea-Bissau has seen the arrest of senior army officers accused of attempting a coup, while in Cameroon, opposition leader Issa Tikairoma Bakary claims soldiers loyal to him have escorted him to safety following a disputed election, perhaps signaling divisions within the military. These nations need our prayers for stability and just governance. As we conclude tonight's news, let us remember that throughout history, from the Battle of Beersheba in 1917 to the Suez Crisis of 1956 that we recall today, humanity has faced challenges, yet we persist in hope. No matter how dark the night, the Star of Bethlehem continues to shine, guiding us toward peace, love, and goodwill toward all. From my workshop at the North Pole, this is Santa Claus wishing you comfort and joy until we meet again. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.